Okay, Assalamualaikum to all of you. Today I will conduct a lecture on public accounting. As you know that this is one of the topics that will be tested in your final test, which others includes public debt, management of fund, public procurement, and accountability. So there are total 5 topics that will be tested in your final test. And I would like to remind here that it will be 20 multiple choice questions and 10 short essay questions. Okay, so for the question for short essay, if it requires you to explain two sources of debt, for example, then you just explain two and then elaborate accordingly because it is only 5 marks. So janganlah you elaborate sampai one page for only 5 marks. Okay, elaborate accordingly. Okay, so I will continue with our lecture, which is public accounting system. Okay, if you still remember, um, our past lectures. Okay, we start with budget itself. Okay, when the government announced budget, when the government announced budget, government announced budget according to the needs of each ministry. Okay, so when the budget is gazetted and becomes supply bill, um, all government departments, agencies, ministries can use the budget that they have proposed before. Okay, the budget that is already gazetted, then the following year by January, they can use the budget. Okay, but the money is actually under the hands of under the jurisdiction, under the control of the national account departments. Okay, so if you still remember last lecture, you made procurement, right? Okay, agencies made procurement because why? They have projects, they have programs that they have already outlined in the budget. So in order to carry it out and in order to ensure that this project is achievable, materialized, so they need to conduct public procurement. So whatever purchase they made, tender, or they made any quotations, okay, then all this purchase need to be properly accounted. Okay, so this is the purpose of this chapter, which is accounting, public, with specific focus on public accounting. Okay, bukan accounting yang you all belajar dalam financial accounting, debit, credit. No, we want to know on how government manage the accounting system of public money. Okay, so look at the third slides. Okay, what is the objective of accounting system? Okay, public accounting system, what is the objective? Okay, first it provides information on past and present information. Okay, so we want to know what are the current accounting states. Okay, what did they purchase for? What are all the transactions that all the government agencies have made? Do they make the transactions according to the programs, projects, according to the budgeted amount that they have asked before in the budget? Okay, so accounting documents serve as the solid proof for the past and present transactions. If there's any problem with the unauthorized transaction, for example, public accounting, the books of account can be referred to. This is one of the documents that we can refer to if there's any problem with the purchasing system or whatnot. Okay. Second one as a basis for decision making. So in future, okay, once we have conducted all the procurement and we have keep the proper book of account, all the government officers have keep the proper book of account. If there's any problem or any decision making need to be made in the future, they will look upon these documents as a reference. Okay, for example, they will look upon the vote book. I will teach you later. Okay, vote book, they will look upon these documents in order to ensure that all the government agencies use the money maximize, efficient and effectively. Okay, so they want to refer to this kind of document in order for the central treasury, the treasurer, the ministries of finance, in order to make decision. Okay, let's say next year they want to see whether ministries of agriculture use their budget allocation accordingly, maximize effectively, efficiently. So they will look upon on this all these documents in order to ensure that this Ministry of Agriculture deserve this kind of amount, this kind of allocation. Okay. Then, as a control mechanisms for receipts, dispositions, and utilizations of government fund. Okay. Um, the central agencies, the treasurer, the ministries of finance provides budget to all the government agencies in order to carry out programs and projects. But how to control? How to control that they actually use the money for the purpose they demanded on? How to control that? Okay, and they use the money according to the amount they have allocated for. Okay, so how to control this? That is why we need financial accounting system. Okay, from the financial accounting system, from all the books of account, the workbook, the central agents, the treasurer will be able to look whether all these agencies use the money according to the purpose they want and according to the allocated amount that the treasurer approved in the budget. Okay, then helps in preparing financial report. Okay, at the end of the year, not the all government agencies need to prepare their financial report. Okay, they need to prepare, they need to ensure that all the objective of the agencies itself, the government department itself, is achievable or is achieved or not. All the programs, project is undertaken wisely or not. Okay, so one of the document that will be a reference for all this is the financial accounting. Okay, workbook, the book of account will be the basis on the basis reference on how to prepare the financial reports. Okay, and the last one is creates public accountability. We need to remember, the government agencies need to remember that this is public money. Yeah, this is public money, and they need to be accountable for every cent they use. So this book of account is one of the tools in order to show the accountability of government agencies towards the citizen. Okay. Next, look at the next slide, which is the features of financial accounting system. Okay, what are the features of the financial accounting system? First, it must be maintained according to the rules and regulations. Okay, I've touched on rules and regulation before. We have financial procedure acts, we have the treasury instructions, we have various circulars. Okay, so all the government agencies, when they want to maintain their book of account, they need to ensure that they follow all the rules and regulation. Okay, tak boleh suka-suka hati. They want to use their own format on accounts, or they use the format they're actually familiar with, they're convenient with. No, okay, because we have rules and regulation. So whatever we did, whatever we do in terms of financial accounting, public finance specifically, we need to follow rules and regulation. Okay. The second one is all the expenses are classified into budget classification. Okay, so in the budget we have classified, okay, under educations, budget for development, budget for infrastructures. Okay, so the public accounting, they need to follow, okay, this budget classification, and they have code. Okay, they have code for every expenses. Example, 101 for salary, 102 for renovation. So they need to follow this code. Okay, then accounts must be maintained in a manner that will clearly identify the objects and purpose for which funds has been received. Okay, so accounts have in the budget, okay, in the budget document, um, the agencies actually includes the objective first. Okay, example, untuk menaikkan taraf hidup masyarakat. Okay, that is the objective. The first program that will be undertaken is perumahan rakyat, for example. Okay, so this account must be maintained according to this objective. Okay, because we want to see each objective is actually used, how much money they use for that, and do this money is used accordingly, effectively, efficiently. Okay, so we will use the financial accounting needs to follow this objective. Okay, then must be designed in a way that could facilitate audit. Okay, so they need to use all the format that can helps the auditor to audit later. Okay, actually, the accounting system is standard. Okay, we have revolved, okay, from the traditional accounting system until we use the online saga system and all that. Okay, so National Accounts Department will update. Okay, will update all the agencies that what are the current practice of accounting. So when they update, let's say we now use online saga system. Okay, so all the government agencies, departments, uh, all these statutory bodies, they need to use the same format, the saga system online. Okay, so it is easy for the auditors later in order to audit the uh, the accounts, because if all the agencies use the same format, so it is easy for them to audit. Then account system must be developed to encourage effective administrative control. That's the purpose. Okay, because we know the nature of the government agencies, is actually big. Okay, and regardless of the size, the government need to control over the use of money for every agencies. So how to control that? How to control the use of money? How to control that they actually use the money according to the objective? So this is one of the way, which is the financial accounting system. Okay, this is one of the way in order to control the use of money in all government agencies. Okay. Okay, for the accounting operations, okay, in Malaysia, look at the slides after that. Okay, um, the public accounting system, the nature of the public accounting system is not looking on the profit and loss. Okay, we don't look on profit and loss like what the private sector is. Okay, because we that is not the ultimate aim of the government agencies itself. Okay, that's not the ultimate aim. To find for profit is not the aim of the government. Okay, so we do not need profit and loss. So, for accounting in public sector, we have two types, which is accounting for receipts and accounting for payments. Okay, so we have two types, which is accounting for receipts and accounting for payments. So, accounting for receipts. Okay, all receipts received by the government, they need to report in the accounting for receipts. Okay, this is actually mentioned in the Treasury Instructions 60 to 91. However, not all government agencies have revenue. Okay, like the Ministries of Health, okay, they have revenue. When you pay RM1 ringgit, or the foreigner pay for the services, medical services, they need to pay, that is the revenue. Universities, we have revenue. From all the fees you paid, we have revenue. The police department, they have revenue. All the summons paid is revenue. But not all government agencies have revenue. For example, can be Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. okay, whereby they actually those agencies who is responsible to give more, okay, so they have less revenue. So not all government agencies have this accounting for receipts. Only those agencies involved have this accounting for receipts, because accounting for receipts only accounts for all the revenue received by the particular agencies. Okay. Then accounting for payments. Okay, this is all government agencies have. Okay, whatever payments they made, if even in order to purchase stationery, they need to account for payment. Okay, so they normally we use standard codes. Okay, as I mentioned just now, if let's say you purchase for stationery like 501, the codes. If let's say you purchase for renovation, okay, so that's another codes. So for accounting for payment, we use codes to represent um, the payments. Okay, the last one, oh no, I think, oh yeah, the last part, okay, which is the vote book. Okay, this is the important part. It is normally be asked in your final test. So vote book. Okay, let me explain on how the system is. Okay, when the government, when January, so the government already, we have already gazetted the budget as supply bill, and all the government agencies can use the money according to the bill, according to the budget that have been approved before. Okay, so they can use on January, they already can use, but the money is actually under the control of National Account Departments. So let's say Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, they want to purchase stationeries, okay, for office use. So they will ask, they will call upon kedai stationery APEC, okay, in order to provide those stationeries. So once the kedai stationery APEC provide the stationeries, and he give the invoice to Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. So this Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat will give LO to this particular to this APEC, okay, and they will ask the National Accounts Department to pay this APEC. So National Accounts Department will pay this APEC according to the amount that the Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat have asked. Okay, let's say Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat ask for RM500. So National Accounts Department will pay RM500. So that is only stationery, let's say on the 5th of January. Then there's a lot of other purchases. So all these purchases made by the Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat will be paid by the National Accounts Department. So at the end of the month, National Accounts Department will provide what we call that, the statement, okay, the statement of account. So when the National Accounts Department provides statement of account to Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, so Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat need to check whether the statement in the statement provided by the National Accounts Departments and the vote book in the part of Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat is tally. Okay, every purchase made by the jabatan, okay, Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat need to be recorded in the vote book. Okay, recorded in the vote book, in and out. They need to record in this vote book. So once they receive the statement from the National Account Department, they need to compare this statement and the vote book. Okay, so all the payments made by the National Accounts Department and all the payments recorded in the vote book in the part of Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat should be tallied. Okay, that is vote book. So vote book is a book which is under the hands of each jabatan. So whatever received, whatever payment, they need to record in this vote book. There's 3 types of vote book, which is vote book for supply, vote book for expenditure, and vote book for development. So expenditure unit that is allocated in the budget and the supply bill, you need to record, the government agencies need to record under the supply vote book, which is vote B. Vote expenditure is the expenditure they made. They need to record under vote T, and for vote for development expenditure under vote P. Okay, so we have 3 vote book for each government agencies, and then under each vote, dalam buku tu pula ada 3 buku. So dalam buku tu pula kena ikut as objektif yang dia dah mention dalam budget. So let's say untuk mengubah taraf hidup rakyat. So under that tu, untuk mengubah tu apa perbelanjaan yang dah dibuat. So let's say second objective untuk menaikkan taraf hidup rakyat. So apa perbelanjaan yang dah dibuat. So that is vote book. Okay. So reconciliations of vote book. Okay, remember just now I said the statement provided by the National Accounts Department and the vote book kept by every agencies, the amount and the transactions should be tallied. In the event of the transactions is not tallied, then reconciliations of vote book need to be prepared. Okay, so why? Because if there's any discrepancies, we need to know. Okay, why? Is that the normal discrepancies because of error in posting, or because of unauthorized payment? Okay, we need to know. So that's why reconciliation of vote book is important. So look at the reasons of reconciliation of vote book. First, to detect any unauthorized payment. Okay, we want to know, is there any payments that is not authorized? Okay, that is actually paid by the National Accounts Department, but the agencies do not know. Okay, we want to know if there is any unauthorized payment. Secondly is to detect error. Sometimes we are human, so National Accounts Department may pose it mistakenly, or we pose it mistakenly. So that is why we need to double check from the statement and from the vote book in order to ensure there is no error made. Then to control the expenses and liability within the authorized allocation. Authorized allocation is those allocation. First, the allocation amount. Let's say the allocation amount is 3 billion. So in the vote book, you are allowed to spend only for 3 billion. Okay. Lepas you guna, let's say you have total 3 billion. You purchase for stationery 500. 3 billion, you need to minus 500, balance berapa? Ada balance kat situ. Then next purchase, you want to purchase for 10 computers. How many? Then that the balance deduct by the new purchases, then what is the remaining balance? So we can look upon, okay, where the agencies may know, okay, sebenarnya duit tinggal berapa. Okay, lepas buat semua purchase, duit tinggal berapa. So kalau kita nak belanja apa-apa, duit tinggal banyak ni sahaja. Okay, so that is authorized amount and authorized objective. Okay, because when they ask for money from the Ministries of Finance, they actually already include the objective and program. So they need to purchase according to the program and objective. Okay, so tak boleh buat purchases out of the allocated purpose. Okay, tak boleh buat. Okay, kena ikut purpose yang hanya digariskan dan yang diminta semasa buat budget ni. Okay. Then to ensure reports from the agency's vote books are reliable, accurate and complete. Alright, kat atas. Gangguan lagi. Hey, jangan cari. Okay. So what are the procedures for reconciliation? Okay. So once the agencies get the statement from the National Accounts Department, so the agencies need to check, okay, these monthly expenses is actually tally with the statement that is provided by the National Accounts Department. Okay, so kena mark. perbelanjaan satu, stationery 500 pada hari bulan ini. So dekat national accounts punya report ada, dekat workbook pun ada. Beli komputer 10 biji pada tarikh ini nak amount ini. Dekat sini ada, dekat sini ada. So kena mark both statement workbook dengan statement from national accounts department kena mark. Okay. If it balance, kedua-duanya sama. Kalau ada 15 transaction, sini pun 15 transaction, sini pun 15 transaction. So the process ended here. Tapi kalau tak sama, ada problem, okay, so the following process is involved. First, kena investigate transactions yang mana yang tak ada. Contoh, dekat National Account Department ada satu transaction, dekat workbook tak ada. We need to, it's not we lah, the jabatan need to investigate that. So, investigate, is this a real purchase? Is this a real expenses or not? If not, why? Okay, so you need to investigate thoroughly. Then second one, we need to report. Okay, we report to the National Accounts Department that this is the problem. Okay, there's one post, it's not, we don't have that. But in the National Accounts Department agencies, for example, we have that. Adik tolong. Adik tolong.
Mana biskut?
Pergi minta adik.
Ada biskut.
Biskut pula dia. Mama. Adik, jangan ambil biskut lagi tadi. Tadi adik panjat tu. Tadi adik panjat tak mau ambil biskut. So mama tak tidur dulu. Okay. Then once the government agencies investigate and report to the National Accounts Department, secondly, they need to prepare a reconciliation statement. Okay, transaction that is not marked either in the statement or in the vote book must be included in this reconciliation statement. Kita kena prepare satu reconciliation statement. Transaction mana tak ada tu kena mention dalam reconciliation statement dan kena support dengan vouchers, invoice ke apa-apa ke yang mengatakan memang ada benda ni, ini documentsnya. Okay, and mesti dimention dalam reconciliation statement. So kalau benda ni betul, then we need to record this contra transaction yang tak betul tu kena record semula. Tapi sekiranya memang benda ni sebenarnya perbelanjaan ni tidak dibuat langsung, unauthorized payment, then ada following investigation should be made. Okay. So once we have record the contra transaction, katalah ini authorized payment, one we have buat dalam reconciliation statement dah prepare, so we need to record balik dalam workbook tu, mana yang tertinggal tu cepat-cepat record balik. Okay, that is all for vote book. Now we move to Accountant General. Okay, this is the head of the National Accounts Department for all the government agencies in Malaysia. State government ke, local government ke, federal government ke, statutory bodies ke, this is the head of accounts, which is the Accountant General. So he is appointed by the Finance Minister. Okay. And he actually responsible to maintain a proper accounting system. So if there's any problem in the accounting system, especially the crucial or significant amount, so this Accountant General is responsible to and answerable to this ministry or Prime Minister. Okay. Then what are the duties of Accountant General? First, to ensure a proper system of account is established. Okay, so this is the job of Accountant General, to ensure that our accounting system is actually up to date. Okay, up to date, and we actually use the latest accounting system. Okay, we need to ensure that we actually not left behind with other countries or in terms of our accounting system. Okay, we need to ensure that. So that is the job of Accountant General, in order to keep up our accounting system up to date. Okay, we need to explore the new accounting system we have in the world. So that is the job of accountant general, in order to ensure that we actually use the proper systems of account. Then if there's any new uh, what we call new system, or we have new procedures, so that is the job of accountant general, to issue instructions, to provide instructions to controlling officer of the federal government and the financial officer for the state government. Okay, then the accountant general also need to supervise the all the revenue received by the federal government. If there is any irregularities, some receipt that is so big, or we do not know where the money coming from, that is the job of the accountant general to ensure that the revenue is coming from sources that is valid. Okay, it's a valid sources. Cepat adik, adik. Then if there is any unauthorized expenditure, kenapa nak kacau sini? Ya Allahu Akbar. If there is any unauthorized expenditure, then the accountant general need to report lah. Okay, to report if there is any unauthorized expenditure. Tan buat apa? Tu adik dah ambil dah kan? Ya Allahu Akbar. Macam-macam korang ni Okay. Then that is accountant general. Then we look on controlling officer. Under section 15A of the Financial Procedure Act, we have controlling officer, which is this controlling officer is responsible for accounts for their agencies. Okay, for example, UiTM, we have one controlling officer. Under ministries of tourism, or each agencies, they have their own controlling officer, and this controlling officer is appointed by the Minister of Finance or the Menteri Besar for state government. Okay, so what is the job of the duties of the controlling officer? To control the estimates. Okay, to control the amount allocated according to the budget. Then for all the monies collected, for all the money received, for all the money spent for their particular agencies, they need to be responsible. So whatever spending made by the government, by each government agencies, controlling officer must know. If there is any irregularities or any unauthorized payments, so controlling officer need to know, need to investigate and answer to the ministries. Okay, minister. Then to report the appropriate service commission for any possible surcharge. Surcharge means if there is any mistake made in terms of finance made by the government officers. Example, sepatutnya bayar 500 tapi tersilap bayar 5,000, ataupun sepatutnya tiba-tiba tak ada payment yang tak sepatutnya dibuat, ataupun ada tender-tender yang dibuat tapi ada orang dalam ada dapat commission kat situ. So controlling officer is responsible to report this. Okay, so basically controlling officer is those officer, the head of finance each particular agencies, and he is responsible for all the financial management in the agencies. Kalau ada apa-apa masalah, dia lah yang kena report kepada minister. So that's all for accounting, public accounting system. Okay. Okay, if you have any problem, then you may ask on our tutorial class. And I am sorry for all these. If there's any, disruptions during my lecture. Okay. Thank you. Bye.